the shins. Because that is not making this do anything.
Okay.
And we very often squat there. I hear that. I see it so much.
Okay.
So it's not.
And it's not just sticking out here behind.
Yeah, it's not this. That's a bend, right?
Right.
That's not a squat. So a squat is to take the hips back towards like a chair, but you're still trying to stay upright. So you're going to get a little backward going on here, but you're going down. So now I want you to feel like you're pushing into your heels, like there's an elastic band between your glutes and the heels, and you're going to go back and back. And just leave your hands out front. Join us, Gilbert. Back. Okay. Make sure, watch my ankles, my knees. I'm not here.
Yes, and that
Okay.
kind of
That's why there's a little bit of wearing on that inside of the knee. You got to go wide, but you don't want the weight here.
No.
You want it still there, but you're watching that. So the best thing, and you can actually use the back of the chair if you want to come around to the back of the chair. So, okay, reach back. You're reaching for something behind you. Look where my shins are in comparison to my ankles. I'm isolating. And you're gonna go back, okay, and then you want to try and stay up. You can hold on if you want to, but I want you to feel as if there's that elastic. It pulls it down, and you're gonna pull it away. And it pushes down. You know what elastic does, right? So it's going to be like this. You're going to feel that resistance.
You're not going to let it just slap back.
Right. Okay. May I touch? Okay, come back this way more. Oh, yeah. And up. No. And there. Push down to your heels to lift up and resist coming up. Come down, resist coming up. You want to feel the burn in your glutes. You want to feel it in your hamstrings. So that's great stuff, okay? But you don't want to. You're already burning, okay? So come around to the other side, or just come around to your seat now. So that's going to be something. You can do that every day. That's not. But again, you are really watching for this. And that is so normal, especially for many women. Oh yeah, you'll feel it all the way to your low back.
Yeah, Kristen already had some surgery because of that.
Yeah.
Where
a lot of women, and a lot of older women, and they just, we're built lighter here.
Yeah, and so
so that we can have babies. Yeah. Okay, let's pause for a sec and just breathe. So I like having answers. And it's the same reason that I decided on surgery versus I could have done injections, I could have done this, I could have done that, right? And waited. I have tried the PCP, the hips, it's not the same. It just doesn't work as well. They've found, at least that's what my doctor said. There's all sorts of things you can do, but bottom line on mine is on bone, bottom line on you, you've got a tear in that meniscus, okay? That doesn't heal itself. So we breathe, bringing our focus in. And using our breath to let go. If we feel anxious, this breath is one of the biggest keys. And then let yourself sit maybe a little longer than is comfortable. It's the same thing as if we were doing an exercise and we start to feel the burn and we do just a few more. What do we do when we have to sit still? Do we need to pick up something? I need to read. I need to, check my email. I need to, or can we just pause and be observant of how I feel, of what is actually going on around me? We have become a society of I have to be doing. Brooke Romney, she's on Instagram, but she just does a lot of just really common sense stuff. But one of the things last year we gave our kids I think we did it for Mother's and Father's Day combined, was a book with just, I don't even know how many pages of just things for kids. And one of the things in there that just really caught my attention was embrace boredom. I'm like, what? Embrace boredom.
Oh, boredom. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boredom can teach us an awful lot. I'm not saying we don't live there all the time. And then go ahead and blink open the eyes. So I have been trying to embrace boredom. I am reading a ton of stuff because I have a window that the meds really work, and then they just are done, right? So they put me on something that's a little stronger. I've had some stomach issues with, anyway, it's just like, I'm ready. I am so ready. But I want to practice boredom. I want to practice, okay, you can't go do, what do you do? So anyway, I actually just bought a book on biomechanics of the body, of course. So anyway, all right. Let's move through everything.
Life is going to give you an opportunity to practice boredom.
It is. I get to practice boredom. No, it was just really, it's something that it's kind of a book that's about this big and it's on spiral bound, but it'll stand up, and it's to go over things with your kids. It's one of the things was like, and this is one that, because this is something that I was taught, never leave a place better than you found it.
Yeah, oh yes.
I was taught that.
Leave it back to better than you
yeah.
found it.
Yeah, just leave it better than you found it, okay? And I just find that I don't know if it's taught with my kids, but anyway, but there were a lot of those practical kind of things. I can't even remember what she called it, but anyway. So find some movement in your spine. I was with my sister that had hers. It's been 4 weeks for her. And so it was 3.5 weeks when we were together last week. And she's like, it's worth it. It's now worth it.
Oh yeah, at least
I can do that.
in 3 weeks, that's pretty good.
I know, I was really glad. So I'm going to be very diligent. And I've already started icing, making sure I get up, because basically for the first couple weeks, it's walk, but just not very far, but walk, ice, rest. Walk, ice, rest.
Boredom.
Boredom. Boredom. Yeah. So up and over to the side. Oh, just warming up. Okay. Go ahead and roll the shoulders back and then find a side stretch. And then come on, roll the shoulders back and find a side stretch. Come back, roll those shoulders back, find a side stretch. Come back, roll those shoulders and another side stretch. And then just go ahead and plant your hands. You can make fists because it'll be easier on your wrists. And then just open it up. This is a harder thing to do. Gilbert, bring your feet a little bit more forward. Yeah. That keeps. So really, one of the things, my daughter and I, she is a CrossFitter, and she knows the body, and she feels like we should work deeper than a 90-degree bend. I understand, and there are some times that we can. So in squats, she'll go lower than that. Sometimes it's okay, but
like in a lunge, when you are up and high, no, you keep it at a 90. If you're down low on the ground, okay, you can do that. You can go lower. It'd be a lunge that would look like this, where you're down and you can go, now I've got a deeper bend here, but there's not so much weight on it,
Right.
okay? And so when we squat, okay, you will see, and Malasana is one that I've never been able to do well. Without lifting my heels. Okay, so this one is even okay because my center of weight is lower.
Yeah, not on your
It's not on the knees.
It's back behind it.
So, alrighty, I wanted to grab this block and I wanted to stand with it. So go ahead and come around behind. We're gonna warm up the legs and then I'm gonna design this and I'll just put on there. Right now it says we're doing joint mobility, which we'll do a little bit of. We always do a little bit of that. So holding on to there, block is here. We've done this before. Ball of the foot on the edge of the block, heel down, okay? Now, this is a really great place. I'm gonna do it here so you can see. This is a really great place to watch. Can you see how my knee is going in and my ankle is there? So you want to pull it, okay? You want to pull it enough that you feel the weight on the outside edge, but you also feel the inside edge. And you're just tracking the knee wide, okay? Push the heel down. Try to get it all the way to the floor. Try to lift your toes off the block, okay? And then I want you to lean forward. Yeah, there you go. There's a slight bend in the knee. We never let it lock, okay? I can't tell you how many times I still hear yoga teachers, because when you balance, if I lock back, I can hold, but I'm locking back, I'm actually going, my knee joint that's here is going backwards. So there's more pressure on the front side. So you just want to really pay attention to locking the knee. So when you first put this on, go ahead and come on to the other side. When you first put the foot on and do that, the knee automatically kind of wants to roll in. Pull it wide. Okay, you're pushing the foot down, but you're pulling it wide. It's developing muscle on the outside of the knee to help pull that wide. Try to get the heel all the way down. I think both of you have long enough feet that this is an okay thing. Go ahead and lean forward. Oh, find that. Yeah. All the way down that knee. Check the knee. Track it wide. Foot doesn't move. Just tracking the knee wide. Kind of just changing where the muscle is. And then release. Okay. Holding on to your chair. Go ahead and just come up on your toes. Yep. And then come down, bend, and reach for that same squat. Okay? Check your knees. I try to kind of lift my toes as I go back. Yeah. Yeah, you can feel it. Then come all the way back up, all the way into the toes. Okay, so on your stairs at home, I'm going to show you. I don't want to do them on blocks because it's a little dangerous. Okay, but on your stairs at home, I'm going to hold on. Come up, drop, and let it go down. Come up, drop, and watch your knees. Make sure they don't go in. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so that's some homework for you. That's going to strengthen. Can you feel where it's, yeah, it's there, but it's also strengthening your calf and your shin.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Make sure that when you go up, that your feet don't do this. Can you guys see this? When you go up, that they go, can you see that out to the side?
Yeah,
that's a sickle. So you don't let them go here. You're just trying to come here. One of the best things, my dad says I used to do this, it worried him that I had a short Achilles. But I walk around the house as a little girl like this. Yeah. Yeah. So we're strengthening the ankle by doing that.
I just tend to.
Yeah, they do, but that's normal, okay? But then watch, as you pull them in, the tendency is to then pull the knees in.
Yeah.
So let the knees stay wide and just put equal weight on outside and inside edge of foot. And then come all the way back down, just to hold on and roll through those ankles. That's a lot of work in the legs, okay? Then go ahead and just find this and find your stretch. So finding, it just feels so good to stretch our spine. Bend your knees and pull back on one hip and then the other. Finding length, you can look at the floor. Bend those knees. Try to get the heels down. Check your knees. You're just going to check them all the time, tracking in over the ankle, right? Over the ankle. All right, and then come all the way up and come back around to your seat. So, we are going to get into a little of our socket joints, okay? We have 4 socket joints: hips, shoulders. Socket meaning there's a ball that goes into something. Now, we know we've talked about the shoulder. This ball that's right here, right? It's just resting. I mean, it's like this, right there. The hip, you've got a cup. You've got like this bone, and the ball goes in. I'm going to have a really significant cup. It's metal and that, and they screw it right into the bone, and then there's just this range of motion. Okay? That range of motion is what gives us the ability. So go ahead and start with some hip circles. Okay. Blair's been having some knee issues, and he's been in, and he can do this. It's almost impossible for him to do that internal rotation. So just rotating it in, rotating it out, rotating it in. We've done these standing, okay? They're a little easier to do seated. Rotate it in, rotate it out. So, okay, we're gonna do a little something. Go ahead and rest. Let's just warm up this other side. Take some big circles. So this is the side that I'll be on stuff. And like if I'm just sitting still, there's maybe an 8, maybe a 1 on a pain scale, right? The minute I start moving, it goes to like a 6. It's just like,
I'm amazed that you move as much as you do.
wow, if I don't, I'm gonna lose it, right? And I've already lost a lot.
And I
So-
guess you're not doing much more damage, it's gonna have to be replaced anyway.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. So go wide and then come in and find that. And go wide and find that. So that's that rotation. None of our other joints do this. Our shoulders will, but our knees are not meant to do that at all. They're hinge joints. So are our elbows. Our back doesn't even have this range of motion. It's these hips, okay? So yeah. So strengthening here. I know you used these the other day with Lisa.
Well, yes.
They are awesome. Lots, so just have a full bag. So just so you know, this is what we're getting. It's kind of a TheraBall. I think you could use a flutter ball. And it'd be a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
You know what a flutter ball is, right? Just like a playground ball. Okay,
You
so
have a ball full of something like this.
yeah. This is the one you play Foursquare with, that used playground. Okay, so squeeze and release. Now I want you to tighten your glutes. Squeeze and release. Squeeze and release. So I want you to take, and instead of ankles here, move them right underneath. Yeah. It's just a little tiny bit wider with the ankles. Yours need to go wider. Yep, there you go. Just squeeze, really, really good for you to get or use. And a flubber ball is going to be a little firmer than this, which is fine, okay? Thighs burning yet? Yeah, okay. So pulling that in, squeezing that. Now, I want you to shift your weight onto this, your left hip. Just lift the foot. Go ahead and stretch it and pull it in. Now, it's not just a bend. Push it out, pull it back. Push it out, pull it back. Spread your toes, flex your foot, pull it back, bring it down. Do you need a break? Take a break. Let it go. Okay. Bring it back. So this is the opposite to when we have the strap here and push out, okay? So when you do this, you can still feel it in the hip, but you feel it in a different place. When you do the push out, okay, the hip socket actually, the sacrum, it actually gets a little extension side to side, okay? So squeeze that in. I want you to just hold it. We're checking our feet, right? We're just checking that I'm all there. It's just right on the knee. This is just one of the best things you can do for the legs. Okay, then you're gonna shift to that right hip and just lift up. And then push, pull. So it's almost like you've got that same elastic. So it's all, you notice we did it with the elastic with the squat, and now we do it with the elastic here. There's a little bit different muscle, but it's working everything, okay? Take and see if you can bring just your heels slightly, just barely off, push down and forward with that foot. Then you're engaging this, yeah, you get a little bit more work. Go ahead and go out and come back in and rest. Yeah. Whew. It's good work. Okay. You feel them right there. Mm-hmm. So oftentimes we'll feel where we're weakest. Okay. We really do. This would be a really great one on your side. Squeezing in, lifting, squeezing in, lifting, squeezing in. So we're going to do that seated just because it's harder to do on your back or on your side. Oh, it's Orlean.
Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, oh, the guys are here shoveling? I thought they were already here. Yeah, we've had tons of snow. Okay, so go ahead and take it out. Right leg, lift it, pull it in, squish. Take it out, pull it in, squish. I'm still lifted if you can. Take it out, pull it in, squish. Take it out. You should feel this. Yeah. Take it out, pull it in, squish. One more. Take it out, pull it in, squish. Just hold, squish both, bring the foot back down. Go ahead and again, just the heels slightly lift, push down and forward. You're gonna feel your whole body like it's trying to lift off the chair, reaching back, breathe, squeeze that, and then release. Go ahead and find that. Okay, good stuff. Here we go. So this brand is just TheraBand. Okay, here we are, other side. Take it out to the side, pull it in, squeeze. Take it out to the side. And again, there's elastic between the legs, right? I'm resisting, I'm pulling it back. I'm resisting, I'm pulling it back. I'm resisting, I'm pulling it back. We got two more. I'm resisting, I'm pulling it back. One last one. Pull it back and hold, hold, bring it down. Heels slightly elevated. You're pushing the ball of the foot down and forward, almost like you're trying to slide the chair back. Find that work. That's quads. right? And then release and wiggle through those legs straight.
Yeah, I think at home I will put the band on and the ball.
And the ball, so you do both
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
same time. Good idea. Yeah. So just, and honestly, once you find the burn, like if you were weightlifting, you'd do legs and then you'd wait a day to do legs again. And then you'd do a different part of the legs. But that's when you're actually adding a ton of weight or a ton of reps. I think these exercises you could do every day. But maybe like on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you do a little bit more. Okay, and then let that break come. Or do you know what? I'm wondering if you just maybe find some time at the computer, or if when you're sitting, use this. And I would actually put it right between the knees where that tear is, because that's really quite comforting and soothing to do that. Okay, and yeah, just see what happens working at the computer that way. You don't have to squeeze it a ton. You can just, it's just there, but that's an engaged leg to hold the ball, because if it wasn't engaged, it would fall.
You know what it will do to it will help you sit up.
Oh, it does. Anytime we pull the knees in, because we have a bone, the hips are gonna go out. And that hips out is what makes us sit up. So if you've got a strap here and you push into it, you're going wide. The problem with the strap with the knees is that you can go like this, right? And the knees go wide. So you're developing more the outside of the muscle than you are the inside. The inside muscle has to be used. When we get down on our backs, maybe we'll do a little bit that way. Okay, I want to go ahead and keep the ball there, since it's not really burning us if we just hold it. Grab your stick, and let's do the shoulder. So the shoulder is the same thing. You've done these before, just up. And if you don't have a pole that's been purchased, a broomstick. I think we all have that. Up, and then slide it down. Let the elbows bend, come to where you can, and then back up. And that. Notice if one shoulder is easier than the other. Come back up. Is it like this? Yeah. Is it like this to get down? Try to do it the same.
Yeah.
Up. Slide the hands wider. Bend the elbows. Let it come down. And then back up. And back forward. Up. And around. And up, and notice that you can almost get to a place where maybe the elbows don't need to bend. It takes me a few times before I'm there. Okay, a couple more. Up, slide and open. Up, slide and back. And then roll through those shoulders. I feel the work right here on the trapezius, right? That's just a lot of work on that trapezius. All right, we're gonna actually do a side bend here. So bring it to the right side. Take it 3 feet so that your arm's pretty much straight. Then you're gonna bend your arm a little so this kind of moves into you. And then you're gonna, over here, you're gonna reach up and grab. Now this hand is gonna push it away. Oh, that's just one of my faves. Okay, I'm not trying to turn my body, I'm trying to really get shoulder on shoulder, reach and stretch, and then come back. We're gonna go the same way. Take it here, straight arm, reach up, grab, and then push the stick that way. Now, as the stick pushes, will you squeeze the ball and pull that left hip down? And then come all the way back, and then just kind of roll through the spine.
I'm gonna feel that.
You're gonna feel that one? Okay, so low back, definitely getting work there. Okay, other side. Almost straight, pulls pretty much up there. You can bend a little and pull it in to reach it. And then you're gonna push it away. My body just like is in heaven when I can do this. And then come out, right? And push, hold on, push the pole, the top of the pole away. Pull down with the hips, squeeze with the knees. One more, come all the way back. Here we go, up, pull this, stretch, squeeze, pull down with the hip, and release. And just roll through the spine. Our spine loves to move. Okay, let's actually keep this with you, but I'm gonna have you step and come behind your chair again. So keep it between your knees. We'll go back, okay? Squeeze. Now, we're gonna find that squat again. So, okay, knees not coming over the toes. You just are watching for that. It's not this. This is not a squat, okay? It's back, reaching those hips behind you. Go ahead and lift your toes here. Make the weight shift into the heels. And then squeezing the ball gently down and back up, down and back up. You're gonna feel as if you're on a springboard, down and back up, down and back up. Here's 4 and back up. Here's 5 and back up, and then hold it, wiggle it a little, and then just reach, stay the ball, keep it there, and just lengthen the spine. Beautifully done. So Michelle, bring your hands down here. You might want to take your feet back a little further and just find a little bit more stretch on that hamstring. Breathe. Gilbert, try that. Bring your hands to your chair. Yeah, just go all the way to the floor if you want there. Yeah, ooh, Gilbert, that's a good one on your spine. Take your hands a little wider, hold on to the sides of the chair. There you go. Oh, yeah. Push forward with those hands. So kind of feel them push and then pull back against that. Beautifully done. And then come all the way up. Is that okay? Yeah, it stretches the back a little more. Well, what's interesting is your back no longer does this while you're there. You are really getting some length and getting sit bones up higher, so you're ready to come down lower. So good stuff. Okay, let's do some sun salutations and move through that. Keep this because you can. It's really such a great reminder, you know, because your knees can't go in with it there. Okay, so here we go. Take the arms up. Go ahead and goalpost them and just find a lift. And then plant the hands, stretch back, lengthen. Michelle, if you want to come down here, take a forward fold. Gilbert, your forward fold will be here, holding on to the edge of the chairs, just forward fold there. Come halfway up, and then walk back in. And I know you feel like you're waddling, you are. Okay, inhale up. Goalpost the arms. So we're creating a little bit of a back bend. Bring the hands down, stretch it back, walk it. Okay, come halfway down, and then Gilbert, you're just gonna move the hands. Michelle, you can come all the way down. Go ahead and take a forward fold. And then come halfway up, and then walk all the way up. So these are what we call half salutes. They actually are a half sun salutation. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, go close those elbows. Come all the way here, walk it back. Find the length first, and then go for the forward fold. And then come halfway up. Whoa, and walk back in. Beautifully done. Whew, how we doing? Okay. Take some twists. let's do some twists on our chair. And we're gonna keep the ball in the whole time. It feels awkward, but it's such a good reminder. So coming back to the chair. All right, notice what happens when you twist. Take your arm up. This arm's going back, holding, remember the shoulder. This one comes here. Notice the difference. It's like, oh, you can squeeze that ball. It's gonna help create strength on the inner part of the thigh. And then come all the way back. Other arm comes out, this one comes back, shoulder. Ooh, squeeze the block as you take the twist. And come back. So let's do it with the breath. Inhale here. Let's do our forward hinge. So just hinge and then round. We haven't done this forever. Inhale up, take the twist. Pull and reach, twist. Come all the way back, back forward again. Inhale up, exhale, fold. Go ahead and round and reach. Come all the way up. Up we go, take a twist that way. Pull and twist. And come all the way back. Let's do one more each side. Inhale up, in between we do this. Hands here, round it. Come all the way up. Inhale up, take the twist. Breathe. Come all the way back. Inhale up, hinge, hands down, round. Come all the way up, inhale, last side. Here we go. Oh, find that twist. So I'm really trying to just take my rib cage and move it. And then back we come, inhale up, last one. Forward, hands down, round, hold this round. And then just move right side, move left side. Okay, we've worked here, which requires our spine to sit up straight. Go ahead and let go, that's a great idea. Come a little bit further forward, just let your body hang over the thighs. Breathing, yeah. Letting that hang happen. And then slowly unwind the spine. We're gonna lose the ball.
That is such good continual movement.
Yes. And we need that continual movement, okay?
We're going to sweat.
Yeah. Move your chair off your mat and onto your backs. I'm gonna turn the lights low. Okay, windshield wipers. I hope that you're getting some of these done every day.
Stillness favorite.
They are good. They are so good. So on your back, knees bent. Now, one of the thoughts for Blair's internal rotation, I'll do them here so you can maybe kind of see, is with the feet wider, you're gonna get a deeper rotation, okay? Like this. So go ahead and see about that. But honestly, this is just one of the best things we can do for our spine. And we just move with our breath. But if you want to take the feet a little wider, you can get a little bit more rotation on them. Go ahead and flex your foot. And I know we don't always do this when we do windshield. Windshield wipers doesn't always have to be done, but just flex your foot, expand your toes, and see the muscle actually engage up the leg. And then go ahead, when the knees go right, look left. And then bring it up. My toes are staying active the whole time. And up, and twist. And up, and twist. And up. Next time your knees are right, pause with them right. Push into the outside of the right foot. Okay, don't pull the left knee towards the floor, but push it towards me. That should be a pretty good stretch of that quad. And up into the hip. front of the thigh, up through the hip, even into the waistline. So I'm not pulling the knee down, I'm pulling it forward.
Oh, yeah.
And then come up, go to the second side, so they're to the left. You're going to the outside of the left foot. You're on the inside of the right foot. And then push that right knee forward. Now, one of the things I like to do here is also to pull my rib cage down. I feel a little more into the outside. But you don't really want to pull the knee to the floor. That's a strain on the knee joint. And come back up. Do one more of those. Go right. The feet are still engaged. I'm pushing, and then that left shin is just reaching and I'm pulling the left rib cage back towards the floor. And then back up. That's such a great one for your hip flexor as well, to the other side. So I'm on the inside of the right foot, outside of the left foot, right shin reaches forward. It's not going to move very far. And then that right rib cage pulls down. And then release. Go ahead and see if you can just bring your feet off the floor, the knees in towards. This should feel pretty good. Just little circles on the sacrum. Oh, yeah. So that when your knees move away from your body, in fact, go ahead and just tuck your chin for a moment. It will help round your spine. And you really are just massaging right between. The more the knees go in and out, the more you'll get up and down, the more you just go side to side. And then relax your head. That's a lot of strain on the neck, but we still want to move the neck. Go ahead and plant the feet. Push down into the back of the head and just lift the shoulders. My hips stay down. I'm just pushing and using the back of the head. This is opposite of the way we just used it, right? We tuck the chin and came up, and then come back down and just look over one shoulder. And bring the nose back and look over the other shoulder. And come back and look over. And come back and look over. And then come back. We're going to do one more of each of those. Bring the knees a little bit in towards your chest. You can hold on to the back of your thighs if you want to. Tuck your chin. And then just move through, finding a little bit of circling or moving in and out. Feel that neck start to get a little bit of a strain. Put it back down, plant feet. Push into the back of the head and lift the shoulders, hips stay down. Just engaging, so it's really working the back side of that neck. If you want, you can try and squeeze those shoulder blades together. And then just drop it back down. And again, with your breath, look over the right shoulder. And inhale, bring it all the way up and look over the left shoulder. The next time you're at the right shoulder, pause and just kind of bob your head like you're shaking it, yeah. And maybe a little no. And then come up and over to the left. Bob it, yes. Shake it, no. And then come back. Go ahead and take your knees all the way to the right, all the way to the floor. And you will turn, your body will turn to the right. Just try to reach back with your left rib cage, shoulder, elbow, head. You're just gonna hold this twist for a little bit. Take some deep breaths. Feel gravity just kind of weight you down. Feel heavy. And then come back up. My grandson has been reading some Brandon Sanderson. Do you know that author at all? It's familiar. Brandon Sanderson. He does, it's futuristic kind of stuff. Anyway, so he's like, Grandma, you gotta read this series, so I'm working on it. I tried to read it, I had to listen to it. It's still like 30 hours of listening per book. It's long. So finding that twist. But in it, they have what they call allomancers, who burn metal to get stronger, to see better, to hear, and iron makes you heavier. So they'll burn iron to make themselves heavy. And I want you to feel that heaviness. Just feel that weight. And then come all the way up. Let's grab our bolsters. I think you have them handy underneath your knees into Shavasana. Well, we got it okay, good place. So let your knees go out. Yeah. Does that feel okay?
Yes, it feels
Do you
good.
need something under your head?
No,
Want your blanket? Yeah. Feel this? I can feel that even just so it's not touchy. Feel that. That's so funny how it's stuck into it. There you go. Breathe. Now, let your mind kind of run through your body for just a moment. Let yourself feel happy again. Let your spine is now supported, but so is the whole body. I do when I'm coming into Shavasana, push into my head and do that lift of the shoulders and just kind of shake my shoulders out and then let them kind of come back down so that I really can relax everything. You can let the breath be strong for a moment. And maybe a couple audible exhales, releasing any tension. And then pretty soon, you really aren't focusing on anything. You will have thoughts that just kind of go, oh, okay, later. Like a cloud in the sky. We might have some clouds in the sky today. This is one of the best vacations you can give your physical body. Is a supported final relaxation pose. Whether it's, yours doesn't happen until you climb into bed at night, purposely find a moment where your spine is neutral, where nothing really has to work. There's still a lot of work going on in your body, you know that. When we can, and I want to say manually, because we have to choose to do this. It's not an automatic thing. But when we manually choose to pause,
think this is one of my biggest tools for when I feel a little hopeless or just feel like I'm done with whatever I'm struggling with or working on. So no matter how many projects I have going on or whether I'm working on this or that, I try to come here often. You can do it seated, probably not by driving. Unless you stop the car. One of the things I really do believe about the body is when we honor it, just the way it is, and feel so much gratitude for what it can do, knowing that there's some work I still need to do on this body. There's always going to be work we can do on the body. The body will not be perfected in this life. We're still going to make poor decisions sometimes. Go ahead and deepen your breath. You can begin wiggling and moving slowly and gently. Small at first, a little bigger, just awakening. And I know both of you can get up pretty easily, so just come to a seat. You can sit cross-legged on the floor. You can come up to your chair if you'd like to. You can sit with your legs like this, if that feels good. But find a seated pose. This is a reset pose, where we're not totally Shavasana, but we're like in the middle. We're not really working, we're just kind of recumbent, just waiting, just pausing. With your mind, run through how your body feels. Because that's really important. To me, that's when I have my ahas on, this feels this, or this feels that. You need to do this more, or you need to not do this more, right? And then go ahead, bring your hands to your heart center, however you want. Thanks for sharing your light with me today. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you. We just watched the movie Gandhi.
Yes! You see that a lot in there, don't you? Eat, Pray, Love.